Hey everybody, welcome to etrailer.com. I'm Bobby, and today we're taking a look at the CURT Premium 4-bike rack, hanging style rack here on the back of our 2022 Kia Telluride. So this is going to be a very decent way of going ahead and loading up your 4 bikes and getting into the trails for you. Now, I will say this bike rack tends itself more to a family style entrust. Why is that? Well, as you guys can see, we have a nice little tapered arm end here. So this is your traditional 2-pull design to go ahead and hold on to your 2 back bikes, of course, giving you really good stability so your bike isn't oscillating back and forth. And we actually do have some nice anti-sway cradles on here as well. But what's awesome about this, like I said, is going to be this tapered arm design. As you guys can see, this brings it into the back end here, making for this smaller fit. As you guys can see from center on center, that's only going to put you at 6.5 inches of spread. What that means for us, hopefully, we can go ahead and cut down on our expenditures of things like a bike adapter bar. So this is excellent for your kids' bikes, maybe your women's bikes, and maybe a step-through bike. I think a step-through bike's probably still going to have that bike adapter bar issue as you don't have that top bar. But for your women's bikes and your kids' bikes, this could be an excellent way of going ahead and making sure that we don't have to buy that extra expenditure and we don't have to keep track of those bike adapter bars. All we have to do, put those guys right here on this end, and because it's shorter, hopefully alleviate those concerns we have of actually getting our frames to hold on to here. Now, talking about frames though, this is not going to be great for your carbon frame bikes because we do have frame contact that can end up warping and deteriorating those carbon frame bikes. And we do have 180 pounds of weight capacity overall with this carrier, putting you about 45 pounds per bike, which is excellent. Now, you could go ahead and maybe get about a 50-pound bike. I would be very hesitant to put an e-bike up on here, even if I'm just putting 2. There's just a lot of strain in one area, but again, that is the weight capacity by the manufacturer. So yeah, overall the cradles are pretty decent. They're nothing too crazy. You have a bit of a hard plastic shell here in all of your holders, as you guys can see. You do have those little grooves there. That can be nice, hopefully, to fit a brake line or 2 underneath. That way you don't have constant friction on your frame and your paint. The rubber strips themselves seem pretty decent. Now, they seem to be kind of falling short to me when you compare them to something like Thule or something like that, but they don't feel like they're going to fall apart anytime soon, which is great. The one thing I might be concerned about it is just getting kind of dried out and baked in the sun a little bit. So maybe a little maintenance there could be helpful of just keeping them rejuvenated. That way they don't kind of crack and break and not work over time. But otherwise, though, I think they are going to be holding up quite well. And as we mentioned, we do have an anti-sway cradle design in here as well. All you have to do, turn your cradles to make sure you have that nice vertical posting to go ahead and hold on to your bike and hopefully reduce the sway you're going to have. As you guys can see, it's kind of dependent on your frame too. So ours is a little bit smaller. You guys can see it doesn't quite fit all the way inside here. Now, maybe I can go ahead and really stretch this back rubber end, but any anti-sway you guys are going to see are really going to give you these kind of same results. What the whole point of it is, reduce the excess motion that you're going to have, the range that your bike can actually move, and bring it in line faster, as it is just a rubber holder on there. So it does a great job of hopefully reducing that amount of shake and play that your bikes are going to experience on the back of your hanging style rack here. Well, to get our bike off takes no time at all. What we want to do is just open up our straps. To do that, we just simply pull them, stretch them, open them up. You can do that on the other side as well. Let's not forget our anti-sway, which acts just the same way. And then we can just simply grab our bike, lift it, walk it off, and we're all ready to ride. You guys might notice there on the end too, we do have some nice little red reflectors. I like those guys because they just let us know, or let everybody know behind us where we are. That way we have no accidents. Something I'd love to see on almost any bike rack, just to go ahead and help a little bit with that security. Well, of course, we actually do have a pretty decent sized vehicle here. And with any hitch mounted accessory, you're going to be adding a little bit of length to your vehicle. So we want to go ahead and check that. One thing that's nice though, we do have a hanging style rack, so we're not going to be too worried about our clearance because our bikes are well enough out of the way of the ground, which is excellent. So let's go ahead and see. From the back of the bumper here today to the very end of our carrier is, if I can get my ruler to cooperate here, going to be putting us right at under 39 inches there. Let me double check that. Yep, right at 39 inches there for ourselves. So definitely not going to be too rough, which is great. And hopefully we can go ahead and cut this down really quickly. And to do that, all we have to do is actually bring in our arms here. So we have a little pin and clip system here. I just got to pop my spring clip. That allows me to take my pin out. And it does have a nice little cable to hold on to it. So I can go ahead and let it gently come down. And it is going to have another insert for our pin to go ahead and help slow down that shake and play that it might be having. So in this position, you're going to have a little bit of play in these arms, nothing too crazy, which is great. I don't think you're going to be hearing it that much. Not going to be creating too much wobble for yourself, hopefully, too, as you guys go down the road, as we do have a few other features to help with that. Now, one thing that's excellent about it, that's going to ahead and cut down a ton of our space, though, right? So let's go ahead and see now from the back of the bumper to the very end of our post. That's putting us at 13 1/4 of an inch, really cutting down that length. Keep in mind, you have 4 bikes on those arms. That's really where all that length's coming from. So on the back side here, you do have a nice little Ubolt design as well. What that can be great for, guys, we can grab something like a cam buckle system, ratchet straps, and you can actually run that through all of your bikes and really reduce that sway. Or the cable lock could be a really nice pickup to go ahead and start securing your bikes to the carrier, which can be excellent. Moving our way down to the inside, though, here we actually do have a way of tilting this away completely. So we do have a 3-part system to get it undone. The first step is going to be this guy, and I'm going to leave him for last, actually. So that's just our first feature that's holding us in. We do have this little screw knob here. All we have to do with that reduces the shake and play that this mast is going to have when it's sitting in our internal assembly. And then we just have a clip and a pin action over here. So let's take that clip out, pull our pin, let that safety cable let it dangle, and then I just have to pull up right here, and that's going to allow me to tilt this away from our vehicle. Now I can go ahead, pop open the back of my Telluride here, and I can grab my coolers, my bike helmets, anything else I might need from the back end here. Can be a really nice place to hang out as well. You have 2 sides where you can go ahead and relax, change your shoes. That way you can tackle anything that the trailhead might be throwing at you. Now, the only thing I'll say, it's not great for quick access. You're going to have to take the bikes off to actually do this. So if you're looking for a rack that you can quickly kind of take off at the gas station or anything like that, probably going to have to start looking at some of our premium options. And at that point, probably going to have to start looking at a platform or a tray style carrier to actually get that action for yourself. But like how we have that quick access, and to go ahead and just shorten this up, we want to replace our pin here. I would suggest replacing the pin first before you start tightening down everything. But again, just walking it back is really easy. That clip's going to go ahead, hold itself in place in the back end here. We don't have to pull that pull knob again. It's nice and locked in. But let's make sure that we are tightening down this back screw here with that knob to go ahead and reduce that shake and play in there. So you guys can see that's bringing that mast in nicely, which is great. Moving our way down, though, you guys can see we do have a 2-inch shank here today for our 2-inch hitch receiver, and we do have a threaded anti-rattle hitch bolt in there. What's excellent about that, we can go ahead and give this guy a shake. As you guys can see, that's shaking the entirety of our vehicle, making sure we're all in line with one system. That's taking all that shake and play out and really helping our hanging style racks and prevent them from having that road shake and hopefully reduce all that contact they're going to have. Now, I will say you just have a clip on the end of that hitch pin lock, so as is right now, our carrier could easily be taken off with somebody with a ratchet and socket. Now, we do have multiple ways of securing this on the back of your vehicle here at etrailer.com, so I highly recommend taking a look at those, and like I said earlier, maybe grabbing a cable lock for your bikes just to go ahead and start securing them. One thing that's nice about this, we do have an offset camera. In this position, you might get a little bit of viewance here and actually can see, or a little bit of view in your back camera there, and actually can see. I will say, probably going to lose a lot here in the middle because of this big mass, and as you have 4 bikes on here, you're pretty much going to lose all of that vision. But as is right now, that could be nice to go ahead and get us out of the garage. Then we could start loading up if we want to. But overall, guys, I think it's a great little fit here for the Telluride. Again, I think it's a really family-centric, kind of oriented bike rack, as you have those nice tapered arms, and it really makes those Saturday mornings easier. We're not running around the house trying to find those bike adapter bars from last time. So overall, just a decent little bike rack to get you and your friends and family to your destination. Well, guys, I think that about does it for our look at the CURT Premium 4-bike rack hanging style carrier here in the back of our 2022 Kia Telluride. I'm Bobby. Thank you for watching.
Here it is on our test course. We'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action, which simulates turning corners or evasive maneuvers. Next, we're at the alternating speed bumps, which we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or pothole or driving over uneven pavement. Finally, we have the full speed bumps, where we'll see the up and down action, which is just like driving out of a parking lot, garage, or driveway.